Imogen and welcome back to my channel. Yesterday I went to a few garden centres with my mum and got some footage of what was new in. My mum was after some outdoor plants and some bulbs, and of course I can never resist having a look at the houseplants. So I'll show you the footage that I got and also do a little mini haul at the end of what plants that I bought. So stick around if you'd like to see that, and let's get on with the video. So the first garden centre we went to was New Leaf, which you can see here. They have lots of different outdoor plants for sale, including these beautiful heather in shades of pink and purple and white. They're also the best place that I've found for terracotta pots, which I took advantage of. Then we got to go to my favourite section, which is of course houseplants. Now they don't have a lot of stock, but it's still worth a look because they do sometimes have gems. This time they had these purple passion for $5.99. They also had some hanging plants and these alocasia pollies. They also have a small selection of cacti and succulents. And I found this cute little polka dot plant which I picked up to buy. We went to Ferndale Garden Centre next, which I think has the biggest selection of houseplants of these garden centres. As you go in, you're just surrounded by leaves. There's also the biggest fiddle leaf fig plant that I've ever seen. They also have their snake plants, spider plants, pothos and peace lilies at the front, and looking up they have hanging ivy and trailing pothos. They also have a lot of carnivorous plants, which can sometimes be a little difficult to get hold of, and a great big table of different cacti. This time they also had these beautiful begonia listadas, which were $14.99. Moving round, they had some big aloes for sale, and they also had a box of air plants. I think these were $3.99 each, and they had a couple of different types. This section is my favourite because they have lots of little pots of different baby plants, and they're all maybe £2 or £3. So they have pilia, spider plants, ivy, different types of ferns, and this time they also had some syngonium. So I think that this is a great place to pick up quite a few plants for not too much money. They also had some different Fittonia for sale, including colours that I don't have, but this time I managed to resist buying any more. I admit that I don't know anything about orchids, but they had quite a few brightly coloured ones which looked more exotic than the standard ones that you see in IKEA or supermarkets. Here are some more snake plants, Dieffenbachia, cacti, and also some hanging plants. They also had a couple of types of Hoya, which I was quite interested in, especially this one with a really long vine. Here are some more plants, including mini monsteras, big ferns, ZZ plants, also ficus and rubber plants, and some fiddle leaf figs. They have big Monstera deliciosa, some philodendrons, different types of spider plants, more ZZ plants. I think they had an alocasia somewhere as well. Really, all the house plants you can think of. We then went outside where they did have quite a lot of plants still blooming. I really liked this fashionably late colour sign which they had around the place. Now, I don't know the names of all of these outdoor plants, but my mum was quite taken with some of them. They did have a few large bushes of hydrangeas, and I love the colour of these and the impacts that they give. Moving back inside, they still had a few bedding plants, including these cute little cyclamen, and some big pots of trailing plants. The final garden centre we went to was Ward's Nurseries. Again, they have a large selection of outdoor plants, and my mum managed to find a patio rose which she liked. They had quite a lot of bedding plants still available, including these lovely colourful pansies and violas. They also had some heathers, again pink and purple and white, and they also had some Japanese anemone, but they weren't quite ready for flowering yet. On to the houseplant section. Wards have lots of plants in hanging pots, which is nice to see, including this philodendron micans, spider plant, and peperomia rosso. They also have cacti, which are laid out in this pebbly display. These are the large ones, but as you can see, they also have the cacti in some smaller pots. Woods does really nice displays with all of their plants, especially with the larger palms, umbrella plants and trailing ivy. Above the succulent section, they had some more spider plants and this Hoya. It had a super long vine and actually had the beginnings of a peduncle. Moving on, they have some snake plants, also some big echeveria and other succulents. Also for sale were these gorgeous big hanging tradescantia pots, which were in bloom with little white flowers. They had a few pothos as well. I think these are Pothos Brazil. More spider plants, and also a selection of ferns, including these maidenhair ferns, which were $5.99 each. I then came across these wonderful autumnal coloured begonia rex, so they had red ones and also some silver and purple ones. Now at this point I was still thinking about that Hoya, so decided to buy it. Meanwhile, Mama managed to find the hyacinth bulbs that she was after, and also a yellow foxglove for her garden. The final stop was to a plant shop rather than a garden centre. This one is called Meadows and Mulberry. Now, compared to the garden centres, it's smaller, but they had some lovely plants both outside and in, and different types than what we'd seen at the other places, such as Ripsalis, some string of beads, and Begonia maculata. These plants were perfect to buy as presents, as they had more unique pots and plants. There were some small monkey mask monstera, as well as some more syngoniums for sale, and they also had some bunches of dried flowers, because Meadows and Mulberry is also a florist. I hope you enjoyed seeing what my local garden centres have in stock, and now I'll do a quick haul of the things that I bought. Firstly, I got 3 terracotta pots. 2 of these little 2.5-inch ones, which were only 35p each, and also this 5-inch pot, which is shallower than a normal terracotta pot, and that was 69p. These are the cheapest terracotta pots near me, and also the only place that I can really find these little tiny ones. I'll use the littler ones for potting up some succulent propagations, which I have, and I'm thinking of doing a sort of mixture of cacti in this larger one, but we'll see what I've got. From the same garden centre, which is called New Leaf, I got this little polka dot plant. Compared to my other pink and green polka dot plant, you can see that this one has a much lighter green colouring, and I'm treating a bit like a collection, and I've got to get all of the colours. It was $1.99, and now I'm on the lookout for a red and green one. At Ward's Garden Centre, as you'll have seen in the video, they had a couple of Hoyas that I was really interested in. When I saw that this one actually had a peduncle on the vine, I knew that I had to get it. So this is a Hoya carnosa tricolour, and I think that this is the Crimson Queen, because the variegation is on the outside of the plant, whereas with the Crimson Princess it's on the inside. It's got really, really long vines, I can barely get it in shot, and this plant in a 14cm pot was only $14.99, which I was really happy to pay considering the vast amounts of growth that it had. I'm really excited to see it bloom, and hopefully I won't have to wait too long to see it. This is also my first Hoya, and if it grows well, I have a feeling that I might want to get a lot more. In the plant shop at the end of the video, I got one little plant. The shop is called Meadows and Mulberry, and I've never been in before, but it had a really great selection of plants. My mum bought a pot from there, and I got this teeny little string of beads in a cute little three-legged pot. I've seen this plant can be a little difficult, so I didn't want to get a massive one. It was £7.50 including the pot, but I'd easily pay £4 or £5 for the pot by itself, so I was quite happy to pay that. Hopefully it will survive in my care, but please let me know if you have any tips, because I think it's really cute and don't want it to die. And that's everything. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!